Hi, I'm Pam with PJ's Glass Creations. Do you need a way to embellish some of your fused glass pieces? Then Freeze and Fuse might be perfect for you. I'm showing you some flowers today that I have made using silicone molds and the Freeze and Fuse method, and they have helped to embellish some of my cacti that I have made for another project. And you will find the directions for this in the link on the video. And you can see they wouldn't be quite the same without it. So follow me and you'll learn how to freeze and fuse. You can get tons of different molds for making freeze and fuse, but today we're going to just be making some flowers. I have all these different types of molds. They're all made out of silicone. They're all flexible. It makes it really easy to pop your items out once they are fused. A little tip: if you look after the holidays, after each holiday, there will be lots of molds at like Michael's, Hobby Lobby. You'll find them on sale, like Christmas. You'll find one on sale after Christmas. Valentine's Day, you'll find hearts on sale. Anyway, just a little tidbit. We are going to be using, to make these, some powdered frit. And I happen to be using a bullseye frit for mine. You can use 90 or 96, but just like regular fusing, you do not want to mix them. And you also, for safety, want to be wearing a mask when you're making these, because you do not want to inhale the fine particles of this. It gets stuck in your lungs forever and can make you very ill. So these are just some examples of what we'll be making. And to do this, I'm going to start... I think I'm going to start with this orange, and it's a little bit damp because I used it the other day. By the way, if you keep this, see how it's kind of chunky because it's damp? You can keep it and it'll completely dry out, and when you stir it, it'll become just like the fine frit again. So if you have extra, don't waste it, keep it. But what I have done is I have a few spoonfuls of this orange frit, and I'm going to just moisten it. You can pour water in. I find it easier to control if I squirt some water in. And yeah, I don't know if you can see the consistency of that. But you want it not so it's hard and chunky, and not so it's like soup. You want it kind of in between. It's kind of like baby food, I guess. And for these particular flowers have a little center. So I'm going to put just a little dollop in the middle of each one, so that when this is done, they'll have a little orange center. And I think maybe these others, I'll put a red center. Here you can see it's actually like powder. Again, baby food consistency, and I'm going to put some red in each one of these. And I think these last few I'll put yellow. Another little tip: if you have a tiny flower and you want it to have a colored center, but it's just too tiny to get just an itty bitty amount into your mold, you can wait until later after it's fused, and you can add a little bit of enamel paint, and then when you tack fuse something, it will become permanent with that. I've also, in a pinch after the fact, used a little bit of nail polish and put that on there too. Nobody knows the difference. So now I have my orange center. I'm going to have a yellow flower. So all I'm going to do is put a decent amount in here. Now, I do not want to fill these all the way to the top because these are really thick molds and I would have really super thick flowers. So I don't want to do that. And I think I'm going to make some white ones. Now I need to get the extra water out of here because if I don't want it like an ice cube. I want it just like it's almost all frit, just a little bit damp. So what I am doing is using a paper towel and I'm pushing down to absorb all that extra, you can see the difference, all the extra water out of that. It also pushes down those little bits of frit into the mold, really gets it into all the grooves. And you might find that after it sits for a while, that some of that water starts coming up to the top again, such as these yellow ones. I don't know if you can see it on the camera. They're looking pretty shiny. That water is coming up through there. So I'm just going to continue to press down and get as much water out as I can. All right, I think that's good. I'm going to put this aside. This will go into the freezer in a minute, and I am going to continue with my other molds. My freeze-infused flowers have been in the freezer overnight. They really only need to be in the freezer for a few hours, and we are ready to pop them onto the kiln shelf. It's just like popping ice cubes out of the ice cube trays. You can put them fairly close together. They will not spread, but they will shrink up a little bit. Just make sure that they are not touching. I have all of my flowers out of the molds. As long as they are not touching, you're good. They are not going to spread. They will actually shrink up. Most importantly, as long as they are on the shelf and you are not bothering them at all, you're not touching them, they will be fine. They can even stay overnight like that. But if you touch one after it, like that one, after it has thawed out, it will become a pile of frit again. So don't do what I did. Don't touch those. That one's still a little frozen, so it's not quite a pile of frit, but it will be unusable now. So I'm going to pop these in the kiln. They do have a special firing schedule. I got it from fusedglass.org. It's a schedule I use all the time, and I will show you tomorrow what they look like. My freeze-infused flowers are out of the kiln and they turned out fantastic. Now they're ready to incorporate into another project. In fact, I made some cactuses and I attached the flowers so that they are in full bloom. I will attach the link to that video here. If you liked this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to my channel. I have many more ideas in my head that I will be making videos for. Thanks. Bye.